I'm Carcino. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Hey, what's up? It's your boy Carcino here. Let's talk. Now, what we're starting to see is a bad mix because of a bad indulgence. Now, thank you. I appreciate you. The Patreon is on fire. Thank you. I see that. You see, I told you. Hey, my Carcino for Life Patreon is doing what it's always do. It's the hottest thing on the street right now. Now, he said more DraftKings commercials. Now, in case you guys don't know, and most of you don't know, it was meetings all throughout. And when we mean all throughout, we're meaning NBA, Major League Baseball, soccer, NFL. They were all meeting and speaking with officials about what has transpired here. Now, I think Adam Silver is meeting with the officials to ensure that the gambling space and everything is safe when it comes to the money, everything involved. And what's happening and transpiring in here is legitimate. Nobody's doing anything corrupt. And they want people to rest assured that everything is working as intended. And there's no need to panic. There's no need to cause a stir or feel a certain way because it's official. Now, when we start having these major issues about players gambling, today's meetings went way beyond the reservoir. So, look, they coming with some sort of sabotage live in the middle of the stream. You see that? That was crazy. Oh, I got that video already made. It'll be up tomorrow morning, probably. Like probably around 10 in the morning. But the video's already done about the Spotify. So, yeah, they don't want me to spill the news. They're probably wondering how the hell I know about the meeting. Now, you ain't getting that one. Now, anyway, in this meeting about players gambling, I want everybody to get ready because this is a big one. While everybody's watching the games and all excited and all of this, no one is having any words or nothing about this meeting about sports gambling and what is transpiring. They got a good game right now, this Phoenix and Golden State game. I'm still pissed over the Philly and Bulls game. Oh, definitely. We're going to go over everything. I'm kind of giving people time to get in here because they're going to want to hear this. What meeting? Yep. So, in the meeting, Roger Goodell pretty much reiterated what he has in place because they get to dictate the punishment and just do as they see fit. Even though they have a union, he gets final say. So, because he gets final say, unlike Adam Silver, his league is structured differently. And their leagues are all structured differently when it comes to gambling. You didn't know that. You thought everybody had the same rules, right? They do not. So here's the main issue that came up in the meeting. What is considered family members, or what they would call, the NBA calls it entourage? Now, this is what the importance was to try to identify, can family members gamble? So they had to come up with this rule for the players. So they want to know from Adam Silver about these rules about the influence of people around them, where it's not the actual player placing the bet, but what if his uncle did the bet? What if the family member did the betting? You know, that's where the problem's coming in. Mm-hmm. Now, here's where it's going to get even more tricky and sticky. See, the NBA is not going to go for that because they've already created such a big mess. And they're like, well, there are things, see, there's things that y'all don't even know that's going on. They have geolocators, like through your phone, they can track you. So they track all the NBA players in the league by their phones. When you get the gambling app, it's a tracking device. So each phone have about 10 to 12 tracking devices on it. When you sign up for that app, you signed up to have a tracking device on your phone that they know where you are. They look for the patterns of your bets and they look for everything else. Now, when the bet is being placed in an area where they feel like it's pretty weird, they want to know where you are when this bet is being made, your geolocation. So you were there in the room when your uncle made the bet. That's going to look mighty suspicious, especially if he's betting on your game. So the NBA has what they call the entourage rule when it comes to gambling. So it prohibits players and relatives who live in the same household from betting on games or people who are part of the entourage. So if you're part of the entourage package, let's say Damon Jones, or let's say Rich Paul, right? Rich Paul is part of LeBron James' entourage. He doesn't live in LeBron James' house, but Rich Paul can't bet on games because Rich Paul, one, is a sports agent. Two, that's a major conflict of interest because LeBron could possibly divulge some information to him. So Rich Paul betting on the game would look mighty suspicious. Maverick Carter should not be betting on games. He's part of the entourage. So when he got caught for illegally sports gambling, he said he couldn't remember if he betted on Laker games or not. He didn't say I didn't do it. He said I can't remember if I betted those games or not. Totally coached. Now, what would be the punishment in these type of situations? Wouldn't there be a way to circumvent that? You can gamble in the NBA. They have it where you know where it's supposed to be no staff, immediate family members residing in the residence, but they had to come up with an entourage rule because got people that don't live with them that's in the NBA that's around them. And they'll know if you're hurt and not going to play and it's not out on the injury report yet. They would know that. Well, the penalty of having your contract terminated, that should be motivation enough. The NBA has contract termination. And no amount of money can be wagered on any NBA related property, including WNBA, G League, Summer League games. It don't matter. That's the scope of all your bans. If you're banned. Yeah, the FBI can get involved depending on how big and the situation got. It's normally an abnormal bet. Abnormal circumstances is when they start monitoring it, and they can monitor it for years before they say, okay, we got all the players in this game, and then the rest of these guys will give up the others. So let's move forward, trying to shut all that down. Now, when you start looking at who's going in what direction and where they should go, where they shouldn't go, who's restricted, who's not restricted, you have like all of these people that are prohibited from extending beyond the realms of what you're used to seeing or accustomed to seeing, right? You start seeing this other that's going on that don't even matter in the real walk of things. Because you're like, okay, why am I seeing this? Why is this on the table? This shouldn't even be here. No, they don't understand it. That's why. And I'm sitting here more confused than anybody, more than less. Because we're all behind a scenario that never made sense to us. And because it never made any sense to us, it's like a lot of people didn't understand the process of like, how is this even something you could run off of? Yeah, they call that proxy bet. Yeah, what you're talking about right there is called proxy betting. That's a proxy bet. When you decide that you want to, for whatever the reason may be, you want to change everything up and use a family member, that's what they call a proxy bet. You're trying to use a proxy to get over. Oh, they got white power playing in here. White power hit a 3 in this game. Yeah, though, that's crazy. Because the more you go through it, the NFL very less concerned than anybody else in the game. The NFL is so less concerned about any of it because they know they have control over their league. So when you got more control over your league, you're not going to have these type of problems. Well, for me, it's different. I never had to worry about certain scenarios. And when I had to deal with all of the extra scenarios, we're going to put everything in perspective. The NFL thing is different. This is where they're different from the NBA when it comes to their gambling, right? Family members can bet in the NFL. Their gambling policy don't really cover family members. They don't really monitor or care if the family members is betting on the games. That's a major difference in the NFL and NBA. NFL, there's no real rule saying that the family members, direct or indirect, can't bet on the games. Yeah, there's no family rule in the NFL. They just want, but you're going to have to adhere to there's no inside information that could be used. Now, if they determine that inside information was used and you want to take that risk, you could easily get your contract revoked quick in the NFL. So they're making sure nobody, they say anything. Oh, Steph having a rough one. Got to sit it down. Mm-hmm. Right. A player cannot ask a family member to bet. That's still a proxy bet. That's still illegal. But like you can't bet for the player. And if they prove that, then you're in trouble. Now, but if you want to bet on your own, fine. In the NFL. It's in the NFL now. NBA, different. So the whole thing is they have their entourage rule, and they want to make sure everyone sticks to the entourage rule. And they want to know why this information isn't adding up. So when Adam Silver can get time, they want him to come before Congress and do this dog and pony show. They want to know why their information isn't adding up. If the government could build cases on this, Grayson Allen is going off. I think I did have him hitting 4 threes, or at least over 3. Oh, okay. We got an update about Jimmy Butler just exiting at the half and not coming back in the game. They're making an update to the bet live as we speak. They just put out a message saying, "We got your back. We understand Jimmy Butler went out." They said, as a result of Jimmy Butler exiting the game in the first half and not returning, pending cash bets will be refunded as bonus bets equal to the stake within 48 hours. This applies to parlays if a pending Jimmy Butler bet is on the losing leg only. All right. I like that. I like that. Oh man, goddamn Vooch. Grayson Allen, yep, over 3.5 threes. Steph got 5. I got that. This bastard grabbed 5 rebounds. That's what did me in. Oh, now all the bets is off, huh? How the fuck did I do that? See, now that's the kind of goofy shit I'm talking about. Yeah. Major League Baseball, yeah, same thing. Major League Baseball has this, the same provisions pretty much, but the NFL has control over their league, and with those type of contracts, it's not as prevalent in baseball with the family members betting. They do say no inside information about anything going out about players about playing. It's pretty much the same way. The NBA has an entourage thing, but the NFL is the only one where we don't care what the family members do. But if they want to risk that and lose their contract, we can easily cut a contract in the NFL because all your money ain't guaranteed in the NFL. Baseball don't have a cap. So each team could spend as much as they want. Hence why the Dodgers are in the World Series every year. They're just buying the World Series over and over again. It's like, well, let's just keep buying the World Series. Mm. The meeting happened today, actually, earlier today. They want to know what are they doing are they working with the betting casinos, the league as far as what to look for with detentions, the security protocols for these matters, and who to contact if there's some issues. One of the issues that was brought up was Ja Morant, because Ja Morant's situation came to be a weird situation where, yeah, the people involved in the weird situation who didn't adhere to the rules or what we consider the standards. Ja Morant seemed to gave no effort on the court in the last 4 minutes of the game. And because of that effort in that one game, it was pulling up a red flag for people who were betting, saying he wasn't trying. And that's a red flag for the league right now, to have a player on the court that who's the star player of the team, don't seem to want to engage. Of course, it didn't have anything to do with gambling with John Morant. His family was clear, but it put up a red flag because it was a lot of complaints about it, and it got on the radar for people who placed bets on John Morant. I actually betted on Ja to get less than 24 points. So that went perfectly for me. But him finishing with like 8 points and not being aggressive, not shooting, it could be a mental thing. We've seen this happen with Kobe, with doing what the coach asked me to do. It could be frustration. But the effort he gave on the court, it was just a bad signal and a bad sign and at a bad time. So all of this was brought up. So you're gonna understand there's a lot of things going on. So all these gambling policy and sports issues for the three major sports, um, this goes back to March. So if you want to go all the way back to March, they talked about this before this even came out. That's why I told you the league's been lying to you. Okay, because in the meeting they went back to March. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they told him in the meeting that 38 states were legalized to some form of sports betting online. This was March of 2024. And they said, look, we got several instances of things that's going on where players are being disciplined for the sports battle. Dylan Brooks just got attacked and he ain't even playing. Just on the bench getting attacked. Right. Well, baseball ran into problems earlier before everything with Otani just last year. But you see how they swept that under the rug for Otani? Right? So it's all a popularity, contest about who you like, what do you like about them, and where you think they should be doing. They looked at Jonte Porter's situation, and they want to make it an isolated event when it's not. They know they got people gambling, and they trying to figure out why. Why would the feds be looking into this? Like, what is going on here? So you start looking at those narratives, and then you start putting things into perspective, and you start people just going into this conspiracy theory. Like, why would LeBron James need to sports gamble? Why wouldn't he just give Damon Jones some money? It, it makes no sense. None whatsoever. When it makes good sense, then you can make your observations. But as of right now, it just looks ridiculous. Hell, Tiny could do whatever. This dude was so busted. It was crazy. It was like, what does Otani need to be doing with sports gambling? Otani don't need to gamble at all. He got like 700 million damn dollars. Yeah, they're putting John in the microscope because of what he did. It looks suspicious. They investigated it. Nothing's going to come out of it because that wasn't a gambling situation, but it looked weird enough to where a flag would be called on the play. And they start asking about it because people betted on the game. So if you lost money on John Moran, a lot of people are going to start putting complaints, what would make them have to watch the game to see what's going on. And it's like, okay, well, why did that happen? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? What's happening here? Did John Moran, anybody close to him, make a bet? They have geolocators. And see, that's what a lot of things came up in this meeting that people didn't know. They know now. If you got a betting app on your phone, that is a tracking device. They know where you at each time you made a bet, even when you didn't make a bet. They know your location or the location of your phone. Fried, died, and laid to the side. No. So this goes back to 2024. No, there was a cousin that had betted on a game, but he had no contact with the family member. So they were like, hey, we had nothing to do with that. That has nothing to do with us. You know, he's a family member, but he's not that close to us. He doesn't live in the household. He's in another state. He didn't know anything. He bet on the game, and he bet some other games as well. Nothing ever came of it because they looked into it and said, okay, there was no real connection. There was no calls made to the cousin or the family, but he was allowed to get away with the bet. The problem they're having also is NCAA, but that's a whole different organization because that's college. So they have their own, athletes and their rules about athletes not gambling and things of that nature. But they're getting ready to have their big problem too. People are trying to keep that bomb under the lids, about sports betting, and they've already had that before, but now they feel like, hey, you got NIL deals because they knew that sports gambling was going to be too much for them. If they didn't have these NIL deals, you're going to have to keep these kids from sports betting. I think Terry Rozier is actually innocent in the situation. I really do, because they keep saying, well, Terry Rozier had an $8 million lien on him. Y'all just don't understand what a lien is, especially for an NBA basketball player. For an average person like myself, yeah, we'll say, wow, that's a lot. But for an NBA basketball player, that's not really a lot. Like, he makes $24 million. If he got an $8 million lien, it's probably he probably owes like 4 or something, and he didn't pay his taxes last year for some reason, and like, you're not going to get that back in a $200,000 bet. So it don't even make sense, and he's never betted. Like, They don't have Terry Rozier talking to anybody, telling them to place a bet. They don't have any of that. They have nothing on Terry Rozier. They're looking at the game and trying to say he faked the injury to get out of the game. And now that's why you see here on the betting app, they just sent that message about Jimmy Butler because he left the game in the first half and didn't return. So that's going to look suspicious to a lot of people. And they just had a meeting today. So this is this is what we talk about, people. Good or indifferent. This is what we talk about. Trying to build on something that should be that isn't. Well, that's like the norm nowadays. Yes, NCAA got their problems coming too. Yeah, they have a gambling scandal that went down that they've just been cleaning up in house in school. Well, I don't have all the facts to it, so I'm kind of just like, man, ain't nobody talking about this yet. But yeah, on the Patreon, it's all gone down, buddy. We got it all going down. So I just hope everybody's paying attention, keeping their eyes and ears alert to all the details that's going on because there's a lot going on right now. Yeah, stay glued in, man, because this is a lot. At the end of the day, I don't even know what all they got on Chauncey because unless you got text messages, he was used as like they would pay a celebrity to show up to the games and play. And that seems to be like, oh, they used him as a face card to draw people in. So the games was built around Chauncey Billups, but Chauncey Billups isn't the main guy. But they just basically tarred and feathered him and drug him around, and now he can't have his job back. So now he's lost his head coaching job. You said go back and watch footage against the Cavs. What happened against the Cavs that we should know about? Well, the Patreon's on fire. You better believe it's on fire. I mean, like, I work hard for y'all. So make sure you sign up and join the Patreon, man, for sure. Let me show you what's on there that got all the attention going right now. The other details we got with the update with Cappy and Beyonce. When I told y'all they was at that event together, they were at the same event. Cappy might have been drugged up, but she was telling the truth. The biggest story of the day is with Sugar Shane Mosley and his ex-wife. This is the story none of you guys knew. None of you knew. These are the details none of y'all knew. I knew because they emailed me. Jen's the wife, and like me, I was good friends with both of them. But Jen and I were better friends than I was with Shane. And her side decided that when I made a video, they loved my video and wanted me to put out another video based on the information that you see there. Now, I don't think I did that because I said, whoa, this is too much. I mean, it even went further than this. But this is what got it started in case people think I have no sources and you think I'm lying. That's in that video. Oh, that's in that whole thing. You get to read it for yourself. Then, are people going too hard on John Moran? That's out. That's going to be for the members too. Then, how to conduct a business meeting. We got that also. That might be in the members pack too here on YouTube if you're my YouTube member. My true thoughts on Gilbert Arenas and his situation he's in now. And then, of course, we saw that Whack 100 is really broke. And the Aisha Curry, Savannah James beef is real. So Doug is loving it. The Patreon is on fire. So how many days? It's only been 3. What? It's just hit 4 days. Okay, we're on the 4th day. All right, this is the 4th day of the month, and we are already just out the park on the Patreon. 4 days in. So he was like, what more do we got? We got it all, baby. In case you thought I came here to play around, you better wake up, shorty. This is my time. The VIP gang, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody VIP know what they finna get. Now, before we get out of here, let's do the Q&A. Anything y'all want to ask me, go ahead. Ask me right quick. Ask it. Yes, go ahead and ask. He's getting treated like Sir Walter Riley out here. Yeah, so it's all on you though, man. Whatever y'all feel like y'all want to know that you don't know, by all means. Come on, Clippers, beat these damn OKC bums. When are me and Kwame Brown gonna start a league? A league of what? Okay, we're doing all right so far. Shay made a 3. Doric got a 3. Batum gotta make one. Okay. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. MGM bets, baby. I got three down already in this Clipper game. Chet Holmgren better get busy. I need 5 rebounds from him. Why haven't you peeped the play Adam Silver will rig the chip for this Luka this year? I said Lakers versus Knicks before this even went down. The new deal, yeah. NBC, you kidding? I'm hoping to give it to the Clippers this year. Any insight on why, whenever they talk about the NBA betting, they always show Chauncey or Rozier? They never mention the families, but no pics and photos. Well, it's racist. One, because Otani from Major League Baseball, he should have been suspended indefinitely. He was definitely gambling. Now he trying to act like he don't understand English. Me no speaker no English. Any more truth behind hip hop stories coming soon? You just seen them. Just go on. We got a whole playlist. Just go on the playlist. We just did one, didn't we? I know we just did one for sports. But there's a playlist. Follow the playlist. When Bum Senior is gonna sabotage the Lakers and Luca when he returns. Of course he is. I mean, that's what he brings to the table. Nothing. That's the thing. He's gonna bring absolutely nothing to the table. Except for his confusion, his nonsense. Now, Giannis hit a game-winning fadeaway today. That was nice to see Giannis do something besides knock everybody over, because to win these championships and these games, you're going to have to be able to hit, pull up, jump shot. Can't just steamroll everybody. Got to add something to your game. That's because they know what I know. The mob and the cops, all of them work together. They're in cahoots. Yeah. I mean, Giannis is a fool. Giannis hit the shot, grabbed his balls. He been in the United States too long. He grabbed his balls. Let's see if they find Giannis for that. He grabbed his balls like, yep, I did it. Shh. So Ja Morant to the Toronto Raptors to play alongside Scotty Barnes. That's what I heard when all of this was going on, because this has been going on since the beginning of the season. They're running a new system that pretty much resembles the triangle offense in Memphis, and it's not the same offense that John Moran is used to. This is a new head coach. He's trying to implement his style of play into the game. So when you want to implement your style of play and say, okay, this is what we're doing, that's going to change. He want to say, I got to get control of this locker room. I'm a first-time head coach. This is what it's about. And when you step up to the star player, like I said, no organization in this world is going to let that go down with a rookie coach unless they have the front office is in agreement with everything that the coach and the organization is doing. So they seem to be turned off of John Morant in Memphis. So I'm quite sure John's like, all right, cool. Um, just move me then, or whatever. Negotiate what you can. Toronto is the team that was adamantly wanting to bring him aboard. Best player alive, I got Giannis by far. Actively playing in the league, no, it's not Giannis. I mean, I would not put him over Joker at all. Nikola Jokic, yeah, a guy with not that much athleticism, but a lot of skill. Uh, would I put him over Kevin Durant? No. Could I put him over Steph? I don't think so. I can't put him over Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard shows you how to stop them. That Toronto series versus Milwaukee showed you all you need to know. He defensively shut down Giannis. So the feds investigate the feds. Exactly. As far as the NBA players, I don't see anything coming of it. But you got Malik Beasley, who's now back into an investigation so they can put black faces on white crimes. Now, Damon Jones is a different situation. Damon Jones, one, should not be making bets, but he has an untitled role. Like, people just was like, why is he here? When he's on the Los Angeles Lakers bench, he wasn't even paid to be there. It was like, well, what is he here for? Why are we doing this? Like, I don't understand it. So when it don't make a lot of sense to the players as to why certain people are around, well, you start to understand then. Well, people can do what all they're really pretty much allowed to do. Oh, yeah, arm is bothering me. He said, "What's happening with the NBA and gambling?" Oh, you got here too late. I'm lying. I'm lying about what in particular? John Moran is going to Chicago. Everybody keeps saying that nonsense. Like they finna trade a hoarder. They're 7-1. If the Bulls make a trade, but that is a stupid organization. So yeah, they know him for making bonehead plays like that. But I doubt it. They got what they want. Some white boys playing. So trust me, the Chicago Bulls, they love white boys more than anything on this planet. They want white guys out there playing. Period. They don't even have to negotiate contracts. Josh Giddey, forget that. Contract, whatever you want. Black player, oh, you're going to have to go. I don't know if we got it in the book. These are the same people that didn't want to pay Michael Jordan. Let that sit with you. They didn't want to pay Michael Jordan. If you're worth $100 million as a team and you get a player and about time he's about to leave, you go to like 1.8 billion. So he takes you to like 1.8 billion in net worth from 100 million to 1.8 billion, and you don't want to pay this man 50 million a season. I'm like, and you actually tell that man, no man deserves this kind of money. No one man should get this kind of money. He was like, well, wait a minute. Well, how much money did you make, Mom? All for me. They called him Josh Diddy. Josh Kitty, Josh Diddy. As a 76ers fan, it was stolen from you. They stole that game from the 76ers. Joel couldn't get a call. It was just horrible. I think if they'd have let VJ go and play and move Joel out the way, they went away from him because he's a rookie and he just fell back and just like do your thing. That kind of pissed me off. Ooh, I got 5 out of 10. We closing in, baby. 5 out of 10 now. Now, I hope they got it. Yeah, make sure you sign up and become a member here on YouTube. We got YouTube membership now, so that all works. I think that was out of Nick Nurse's control. To be honest, that was out of Nick Nurse's control. Joel is the star player, and it's going to come to a point where people are going to start realizing that there's more that's like more that's going on than what people recognize or realize. When they figure that out, this is going to blow the whole lid off. It's going to blow the whole lid off everything. Yeah, they stole, but the refs stole this game from them. They was giving Vooch way too much, and you couldn't get a call. And I was like, okay, I see what they're trying to do. I don't look at it like that. To me, I think it's different. When you bring all these different engagements out together, yeah, that's not gonna register the same. How one person might feel, it might not be the same as what everybody else think. You know what I'm saying? Granted, if I had somebody who was, let's say, no, because this is why. Because if you had somebody who you trusted and that they had your, let's say, best intentions, to follow up everything that was going on, and you want to go with best intentions for this, best intentions for that, where are you going to actually make progress at? People need their best intention story. So that when they start saying, well, what is the best intentions of this person, that person, and this person, and that person? Right? Mm-hmm. What people didn't realize at that moment is that when you start seeing the changes that's happening in the league, is happening with baseball, everything else. But they want to protect the integrity of the game, meaning that they can't have a player go down, and you can't let Otani go. So they got this geo location technology to locate your ass whenever they need, because they know you're gonna be online, you're gonna be on your app, you're gonna be looking at all this. Oh, I got 6. 6 out of 10. Let's go. Let's get it. 6 out of 10 is green, baby. See, don't know what he's doing over here. Let's get it. Shay got 25. That's what I'm talking about, Shay. The sticking point, I got 2 sticking points that's going to be hard. Alex Caruso got to hit 2 threes. That's going to be hard. James should get the 7 assists. The Knicks played the best game I've seen them play, period. That was the best Knicks game that they just played the last game. If they play like that, they can win. They can win it. Jalen Brunson right there. That's the Jalen Brunson that has to play every night. He has to play like that every night. Did you see how they played that game? If you're a Knicks fan, that's what you want to see forever. How do you get that performance every game? You see, I had nothing negative to say about the Knicks after that game because there was nothing negative to say. Jalen Brunson played that game the way you're supposed to play that game. He ended up with like 16 and 9 assists. There's no reason for Jalen Brunson to not have 10, 11, 12 assists a game. No excuse for it, except for his own selfishness. I want to jack up threes and go one-on-one. That's it. Jordan is a hypocrite? Yes, a huge one. Favorable mentions, or what do you mean? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. Jordan only cares about himself. Yeah, pretty much. Well, at the end of the day, you have to make a decision on what's best for you. What makes you feel like this is something that's ideal for you? That's the key. Was that Caruso that hit that 3? Yeah, that was Caruso. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still, he got to hit one more three, I guess. All right, can I get my bets, please? Thank you. Caruso, that was his first three of the night. I'm gonna need another one out of him just to feel safe. Yeah, you got walked. Look at Harkenstein dropping the pass back through the legs for the three. Well, today's games have changed. Yes, the NBA and the NFL rules are different. 100% different. Mm. You know what people really didn't understand the most about what you just said? Is that when you go down that road, sir, there's no way back. Because it just don't even make sense for players to even gamble or their family members. Yes. That 95% conviction rate is jaded. Like Diddy got convicted on the Mann Act charges, right? But the major charges he didn't get because there was clearly that was just fluff. So what they would do was admit to a lesser crime and plead guilty to something small, or they'll take them out of the case and the whole major case will still be going on against these mobsters who you haven't seen any of their faces. They haven't had the perp walk. There's no news coverage. They're not on the front of the papers. But when you say, oh, here is these three bad athletes or these three bad apples in the bunch, and they all black, and you got three different mob organizations behind it, and none of these people are sponsored by the mob. Clippers are playing too sloppy. Well, they feel different. Well, it's about what what you feel, right? It's about exercising your rights, the whole nine. Alley for Chet. Oh, Harkin here dropping dimes. Brooke Lopez hits a three. I think I got that too. Yep, I do. Brooke Lopez made that three. They just updated it. Woo, I got two more to go, baby. See, don't got two more to go to get to the money. I need Caruso to hit a three before this is over. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. Go Bulls, F the Bulls. That team, they treated for them today, man. They stole that from them. But the 76ers got to make one thing clear and present. They have got to change the way they move. For real. They got to change the way they do business. It's a shift. Joel's got to play the back and let Maxey and VJ run the show. And when he sit down and those dudes is running, the team is slowed down tremendously. All right, 2 threes for Brooke Lopez. Good. Keep this thing close enough. So Chet can come in there and give me some rebound. No, NBA, you can't. The thing is, they're trying to watch his family members betting. That is the biggest standout more than anything. Family members gambling. The NFL don't care. Do you want to risk your contract? They still got the same per hit per. Uh-oh. Same prohibiting factors, but if you want to be the one to risk your check, you go ahead and do that. We'll see what happens. Swing it. Okay. Mm. I'm like, damn, John Collins, what you was doing? No, it's for WNBA, G League, Summer League as well. The thing with the family members is that the NBA has what you call and you got here late, this was happening. They have the entourage rule, meaning that you don't have to be in the same stratosphere as the family member. They're saying like Mav Carter can't gamble on games. He's considered part of the entourage of LeBron James. Randy Mills can't bet on games. You know, this is considered part of the entourage. So betting on the game, one, it wouldn't make sense. And, you know, that's just considered part of LeBron's entourage, meaning that they don't live in his household because no one in your household can bet. But the only thing the NFL and the NBA have in connection with the gambling is that they all have the rule that no sharing of information on players' availabilities or any other player. You're not allowed to do that. So you can't say, is he playing or is he not playing? You can't divulge any of that information. It's not allowed. Kick it to Caruso! God damn it, you dumb bastard! Who are you? Who are you, number 25? Who is you? Gave that ball to Wiggins. I want to slap him so bad right now. They pulled Caruso out. That was his shot. He was wide open. Now I'm mad. My thing is this: they blame like San Antonio. They cut the air off so I could cramp up. And why come you're the only one that cramped? You're the only one that's cramping. I can see your point if everybody else is cramping up. They going, hey, wait a minute, what's happening here? What? I'm cramping. No. Yeah, I'm cramping. Ah. So I could see that being a problem if that was happening to everybody else. When I don't see it happening to everybody else, I have to start asking questions about all of it. Roy Camp. Pretty much, that's what it looks like. Roy Camp. He needs air conditioning to ball. Yeah, to ball up and cry. Well, when you start looking at what they say big picture, look at the big picture. Then you'll start to see it. It's going to appear to you, and you're going to say, oh, wow. Oh, I get it now. This is where the big problem comes in to play. All right, Clippers, there we go. Make this thing close so that Caruso can get back in the game and hit a three. This guy here who's running the point, I want to beat the living hell out of him. Oh, now you can go to your right. Yeah, break that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where's Holmgren? You pull Holmgren out the game? Chris Paul is old as hell. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. I'm watching the end and the destruction. Come on, let's keep screwing it up. This number 25 guy. Get the rebound. Pull. Knock it down. That was the guy you needed with the ball. Not you. Yeah, that's aggravating to see. Very aggravating to see. But it is what it is. That's why it's called gambling. All right. I'm out. I'll holler later. Deuces.